My name is Casey, and I will be defending and arguing for the Anoplophora glabripennis, or the Asian longhorn beetle. For clarity, the species I'm debating is the Diaphorina citri, or the Asian citrus psyllid. The topic of debate is which would be the better invading species. Solid arguments for the Diaphorina citri include that there is already much more widespread um, amounts of that insect than there is the Asian longhorn beetle, as it's found across the South and is very concentrated in California. It would have an easier time jumping to new areas and populating them. They reproduce very quickly. They can lay 300 to 800 eggs in one lifespan, which is an advantage in invasion. They have a shorter lifespan and can produce up to 9 generations in a single year. This all leads to a better ability to spread quickly and reproduce efficiently in a new area. There's also currently no cure for their affected citrus trees. Those are the arguments for that variety. My opening is the Anoplophora glabripennis, or the Asian longhorn beetle, is a sophisticated, invasive species of beetle with many features aiding in its ability to quickly take over and destroy large areas of native trees. It originated in Asia and has begun its spread in the northeastern United States. The trees affected by this beetle include varieties of ash, birch, elm, willow, and they're also very adaptable to other species. One of its favorite hosts is the maple. In places like Michigan, this is really causing catastrophic loss and damage to local ecosystems. Maples are very important to humans, with uses in things like landscaping, shade, maple syrup, and other food products, and building things like furniture, room interiors, and musical instruments. Animals like squirrels, native birds, and other insect populations also rely very heavily on these tree species for survival. Squirrels specifically use the new growth of maples to build their nests, and many native birds, like the American robin, which is actually Michigan's state bird, rely on these hardwoods for shelter. The decay of these trees also causes problems for humans. Dying trees are very unsightly and costly to remove. They can pose a safety risk as well. As the damage advances, the structure of the limbs can be compromised and they may break or fall. This is very risky, as the Asian longhorn beetle's favorite hosts are often used for cover and landscaping in residential areas and parks. The beetle's ability to remain undetected makes this even more dangerous, as you may not be able to see the damage until it's too late. The trees affected by the Asian longhorn beetle population also don't have any natural defenses, so there are no natural intervention methods that the humans can take advantage of. They do end up killing their host trees eventually, which is the mark of a great invader. They leave behind destruction where they're present, and the infested trees don't recover. They're adaptable enough to bore into a wide variety of hosts, opening up more options to new areas that they can infest outside of their already very strong presence in the northeastern US. The Asian longhorn beetle's adaptability, efficiency, and general risk to humans make it the superior invader. Now, some would argue that the citrus psyllids have more easily accessible source of nutrition for their young in the leaves that they eat, allowing them to focus on their reproduction. It is more difficult for the Asian longhorn beetle to reproduce as efficiently because of the energy requirement of the boring process, which would allow new adults to bore back out of the tree. The Asian citrus psyllids damage and kill their hosts a lot more quickly than the Asian longhorn beetle as well. Though people might say that by feeding on leaves instead of the intersections of the tree, it's much easier to identify the Asian citrus psyllids early on. This can lead to more effective quarantine and prevention methods by humans, which does not allow for an effective invasion. My Asian longhorn beetle has an element of stealth that comes from their ability to remain undetected. They can use a host for up to 4 years without signs of damage, and by the time people realize that a tree or area is infested, it's too late to save the tree. This ability to thrive without evidence is one of the reasons that the Asian longhorn beetle is so effective at invasion. Although the Asian citrus psyllid can kill their hosts more quickly, Asian longhorn beetles do it in a more efficient manner. It can take 10 to 15 years for an Asian longhorn beetle to kill off its host. but that allows for like 2 to 7 years longer that the Asian longhorn beetle can use those resources and suck out the nutrients from the host that they have. The nutrients and shelter last a lot longer and provide longevity to their invasion operations. They are also not limited by their hosts like the Asian citrus psyllid. They are more limited to the citrus family, while the wide variety of hosts that the Asian longhorn beetle can inhabit allows them to thrive more easily in any and every area of the United States. Some would argue that stealth comes at a cost of a slower life cycle. The Asian longhorn beetles can't produce as quickly as the psyllids, but the Asian psyllids only really lay about 300 to 800 eggs per female lifespan. It does allow for them to have new areas infested very quickly, but the destruction of the leaves on their host plants leaves a very distinctive mark, and it makes them more easy to identify. They carry the look of death, which is a mark of a good invader. However, I would argue that Asian longhorn beetles have a longer and more slowly advancing life cycle that allows them to survive in the winter in several different stages, which is more effective. And the adults continue to emerge in a staggered pattern year round. This allows them to have better resilience. They often stay on the same tree that they emerged on and work for their whole lives to eventually kill it. The fact that they reproduce in this way and have the slower life cycle means that the Asian longhorn beetle is more effective, and humans can have less prevention or eradication techniques. And if there were more techniques invented, it would take a lot longer for them to work. The rapid life cycle and constant overturning of generations present in Asian citrus psyllids means that the eradication efforts would take root in the new generations very quickly. That won't happen with the Asian longhorn beetle because they have longer periods of time between new generations and the already established one that they would be not able to target. These are very clever ways that the Asian longhorn beetle avoids early intervention methods by humans, and it contributes to their status as the better invader. In conclusion, it's very clear that the Asian longhorn beetle is the superior invader. The stability that they maintain with their reproduction methods and their ability to slowly suck the resources out of their hosts while remaining undetected makes them the perfect species for invasion. It's essential to continue to research the spread and evolution of their invasion in the Northeast. The research that has been going on has been very useful so far in developing more effective prevention and surveillance methods for affected areas. Continuing to push for a cure or an effective eradication technique is essential to saving the many affected species of trees in the U.S. from this really damaging wood-boring pest. As I stated earlier, these trees are the backbone of many ecosystems, and they're really essential to biodiversity in the Northeast especially. So finding better ways to control this superior invader is essential to the balance of life there. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.